Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So here we have at Crypto Insight UK posting XRP feels like it's ready to continue to the upside. We've been holding previous range highs as support for 25 weeks now-ish. He says stochastic RSI is turning up to be oversold, indicating momentum is coming back to the bulls. So guys, some indicators here. Take a look at the RSI down in there. Bullish activity flipping. Okay, if you guys can see that down in there. And the stochastic RSI too, also flipping to the upside. Are we finally seeing that reversal pattern? He goes on to say we need a good week here to confirm a bullish cross. He goes on to say we need a good week here to confirm a bullish cross on the standard RSI. However, with alts performing well, I think there is enough momentum to take us over the line. We get the weekly bullish cross on a bit of momentum, then XRP will rip similar to what we did see back in November and December of 2024, but realistically probably even more aggressive. So this is, hopefully this is now what we are seeing. Just from the looks of it, it is looking like another Nike swoosh pattern is forming here. And guys, generally what we see when we do witness the Nike swoosh, what we see after that is a rip to the upside. So similar to what we saw back in 2017, we saw that Nike swoosh pattern play out, then the rip, okay? Just a complete vertical trajectory. That is what we want to see. Hopefully we are seeing something similar now. Crypto market is primed for this. We've got fear and greed in the 70s. It's officially greed. It's not in the dark green yet, but it's officially greed. Market cap is green for another day, up 0.75% in the last 24 hours. And the CMC 100, that's up almost a percentage point too. So Bitcoin hasn't been performing as good in the last 24 hours, although it is still up. It's still technically in the green. Ethereum's up over 2%. XRP's up 2.29. BNB coin's up 2.67. We've got Solana cooling down a little bit, but guys, take a look at this. Most altcoins are up. Look at Picoin, up 58.57%. That's when you see numbers like this consistently for weeks and weeks and weeks, that's when you know the euphoria phase is here, guys. For more information on what I'm doing, what I'm going to be looking at, my crypto moves, where I'm going to be selling out at, I know you guys are aching to see where I'm going to be selling out my XRP. Follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if that's something you're interested in. So the market is moving. Why is the market moving? Actually, let's just take a look at Bitcoin real quickly here. Bitcoin, so as I said, Bitcoin is not, it didn't really do too much in the last 24 hours, but guys, it's just kind of stalling out up in here. So this is, again, where we did see it kind of hang out before it did retrace back down here, making that double bottom before moving back up again. So Bitcoin sitting in and around 104.5 today. I don't think that's bad news, really. When you take a look at the year-over-year M2 global money supply and the correlation to Bitcoin, guys, things are still looking positive. Crypto usually does follow, this courtesy of Chad Steingraber. So take a look at this. This is a chart denoting Bitcoin and M2 global money supply year on year, okay? When we do see that money supply increase, so that is in green, you guys can see it there between 2016 and 2018, and then 2020 up until 2022. Boom, the price of crypto did also increase. And guys, we are down and around here, so we are in positive territory. We just need to see that materialize. However, it's not stopping whales from purchasing XRP. This one courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP accumulation continues as whales are pushing boundaries of the current short bull run. That's an interesting way to word it. 4 million XRP, though, have been accumulated by XRP whales. So they are seeing the benefits, guys. They are seeing that there is an opportunity here. Like I've been saying on this channel, the $1.96 level down and around here, that was the base for our support. Anything below that, if it did dip down like it did back in early April, that would have been a good time to accumulate. We have been steadily keeping above 196. Whales have been accumulating throughout this period, so technical indicators and on-chain metrics indicate that whales are preparing for another round of accumulation-fueled growth, drawing attention to XRP's market behavior once more in the cryptocurrency space. With over 4 million transactions recorded in the last 3 days, a sharp rise over the pre-pump baseline, the recent spike in network activity reveals powerful and unusual movement. So peer-to-peer transactions have also increased, guys, indicating not only interest, but also capital movement. In terms of price action, XRP has recently surpassed its multi-month descending triangular formation and has made a clear break through important resistance levels at $2.20. So just going back to the chart here, 220, was, yeah, former resistance back in here. Boy, it doesn't, it seems like not that long ago where we were just under 220. I mean, yeah, it was back last week. Finally moving up above that and now continuing to the upside. I know it doesn't feel like a lot, but guys, 20 cents, give or take. Actually, it's more than that. Let's just put a, here, let me just grab a price range tool. Remember on Thursday, we were down in around $2.12. And then within 3 days, we went up about over 16%. So that is big in the grand scheme of things. Whales at that time were realizing that we were close to critical support, so they were accumulating as well. And as of right now, XRP is trading above the 50, 100, and 200-day EMAs, which is an unquestionably, bullish technical pattern that offers a strong basis for future gains. The RSI, which is currently at 59, is still high, but with reasonable bounds, allowing for further growth without immediate indication of overbought conditions. So, guys, this is where we're at today. Take a look at. I can't zoom in on that. Let me just. I'll punch in on that in post. You can see XRP getting above some of these indicators. Okay, we were in that descending triangle for quite some time. If I bring it up here. The descending triangle, we were pretty much there since the beginning of the year, since January of 2025. Now we're coming out of that, up 16% in just a few days. And now that this is the case, I mean, we have other ETFs registered and other ETF approvals coming up in the next few months. Is it BlackRock's turn, guys? BlackRock's representatives have allegedly met with the SEC to bolster crypto ETF adoption. Another one here, courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf. Of course, it's XRP that we're really eyeing, but as of May or on May 9th, BlackRock engaged in a meeting allegedly with the SEC to discuss key areas regarding the future of digital assets. Among the main topics were the potential integration of staking into crypto exchange traded products and the broader implications of tokenization and traditional securities. These discussions hint at a growing alignment between regulatory authorities and financial institutions on an evolving crypto landscape, potentially paving the way for increased institutional involvement. So we do have the letter here. Again, I do not know how legit this is, but I'm going to take it for what it is. If somebody does have more information on that, please do let me know. Oh, it's actually directly from the SEC website here, so excuse me for not clicking on that before recording. But yeah, here we have it. Officially, on May the 9th, 2025, Crypto Task Force staff met with representatives from BlackRock. The topic discussed were approaches to addressing issues related to regulation of crypto assets. So BlackRock, guys, of course, getting in on the game. This is what we are eyeing, though. Of course, will BlackRock launch an XRP ETF? The idea of BlackRock launching this ETF remains a subject of speculation. In late 2024, Jay Jacobs, head of BlackRock's ETF division, reportedly stated that the company would continue prioritizing Bitcoin and Ethereum rather than branching off into other altcoins. However, I do feel like, it is time. There are so many other, and not just XRP, Solana, and maybe a couple of other ones, maybe ADA is probably another one, where there's already a lot of development behind these projects that it would be very remiss, I think, for a company as large as BlackRock to just kind of bypass them and just say, no, we're just focusing on Ethereum and Bitcoin because we can't think outside of the box. So I do believe we will see an XRP ETF sooner rather than later, and it might surprise a lot of people. That's just what I think. That's just my opinion here. However, industry observers remain hopeful, as it says here, particularly if Ripple fully resolves its legal dispute. So we already got a resolution on that. One such observer, Nate Gerasi, president of the ETF store, believes that the filing is likely to follow once the regulatory dust does settle. In parallel, the SEC recently postponed its decision on a proposed XRP ETF submitted by Franklin Templeton. But as you guys can see from Polymarkets, there is a steady 77 and 79% over the past day, suggesting firm confidence among XRP investors that the path to regulatory approval is increasingly viable. I mean, there's no doubt that cryptocurrency is here to stay. Of course, getting in early is probably a better choice than getting in late once those candlesticks are pumping. And again, if you guys want to see my $15,000 plus altcoin portfolio, I have a lot of confidence in the altcoin market still. It could be the last hurrah for meme coins, for altcoins. We're looking for 100 bangers. I'm still waiting to see what the Euphoria phase does bring. Follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for all that information and more. And here, guys, I think this was the biggest catalyst that got the market up. Tech stocks look set to jump as U.S. and China pause reciprocal tariffs. So this just came out again. It was just the weekend today. Markets are, I'm recording this, markets aren't open yet. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see what the NASDAQ does today. U.S. tech stocks, along with the broader stock market, seem ready to start the day with a high as U.S. and China on Monday agreed to temporarily cutting reciprocal tariffs for 90 days. Per the deal reached in Geneva, the U.S. would temporarily shelve the 145% reciprocal tariff on goods imported from China, taking the rate down to 30%, and Beijing would pause the 125% tax it had imposed on goods from the U.S., taking the rate down to 10%. So that is the news, guys. That is why we're likely seeing crypto move as it has been over the last few days. Of course, there is more information here. So this is what we know so far. The U.S. and China will temporarily lower the tariffs on each other's products, with the U.S. reducing its levies on most Chinese imports from 145 to 30%, and China dropping its duties on U.S. goods from 125 to 10%. The joint statement aims to cool trade tensions and give the two countries 3 more months to resolve their differences, with a mechanism to continue discussions on economic and trade relations. Not only that, the agreement is a step towards de-escalating the tariff war, but it is still unclear what an acceptable goal is for both sides, or how long it will take to get there, with China previously demanding the removal of all U.S. tariffs imposed this year. So, that's where we're at in terms of the negotiation, the Trump negotiating strategy here for, to open up trade and to give the United States a better deal. So Sentiment also commenting. Sentiment, as you guys know, does monitor the market. They do look at trends. And so they are also breaking this news. U.S. and China are mutually stating that an agreement has been reached. With more details later to come on Monday, Bitcoin has mildly climbed and altcoins are surging, with Ethereum now all the way back above $2,500. So we've been ignoring Ethereum. Let's just take a look at Ethereum for a second here. Wow. So yeah, Ethereum has also, it's resulted in a push for Ethereum to the upside. Probably one of the better performing coins. What did Ethereum do in the last, look at that, last 7 days, Ethereum up 41.61%. So it's about time for Ethereum, I think. We've been, whether you're a fan of it or not, Ethereum has been languishing during this bull run, and now we're seeing it thrive. So getting up above 2,500, that's a key challenge for Ethereum at the moment. Stock markets are reacting positively, with anticipation from traders that tariffs will no longer be an anchor holding back their investments. We are seeing the highest discussion rate on the topic since the crypto market bottom 1 month ago. Though this does appear to be objectively bullish news on the surface, this White House announcement may entail the framework of a deal discussed in Geneva this weekend rather than a completed and executed deal. We advise traders to await the official words from Trump in the morning U.S. hours before assuming this is an immediate 0-for-0 tariff deal or something equally as exciting. If this deal indeed does immediately reduce the impact on exporters and importers for both countries, we should see an instant bullish impact on all markets. Just avoid overextending until confirmations are made, to avoid getting trapped into any buy the rumor, sell the news scenarios. So we're still kind of sitting back and waiting and seeing what's going to happen. But we have seen now the highest discussion rate of U.S. and China trade since the bottom, since April 9th to 11th. So guys, that is also very positive. Obviously, the markets are reacting, but it could be maybe the result of a broader picture. Hey, Greg Crypto stating, okay, now you will understand how charts make you see the future. So U.S. versus China deal, this means tension is down. Russia versus Ukraine will meet in Turkey to discuss a peace deal. This also means tension is down. Soon you will hear U.S. versus Iran deals being signed up. This means tension is down. Guess who's going down? Gold. And in times of uncertainty, gold is usually the indicator that tensions are up. But guys, look at gold. Gold is double topping. And I was about to say hopefully it makes lower lows, because that means risk on assets like cryptocurrencies are more likely to go up. Speaking of gold, we've got gold bug Peter Schiff with his negative take on it. And I kind of get why he's maybe a little negative on this. He is a gold bug, and so he wants to see his gold go up. How is this trade deal a win for Trump? He says China has agreed to nothing. The 145% tariffs we impose have been reduced to 30%. The 125% tariffs they impose in response have been reduced to 10%. If 145% tariffs were just a bargaining chip, China already called Trump's bluff and won. Jane Addams saying, actually China just slashed their tariffs by over 90%. That's not nothing. That's a white flag. Trump didn't get bluffed. He got Beijing to back down while keeping U.S. tariffs 3 times as high, or rather 3 times higher than they were before. That is leverage, that strategy, and yes, that's a win. But Peter Schiff continuing saying, no, it's not. China never wanted those tariffs. They only imposed them in retaliation to ours. Since we agreed to drop ours, they dropped theirs, so they did win. They got us to lower the tariffs Trump wanted, but they never did. So is it a win? What do you think of Peter Schiff's opinion here? Put it down in the comments if you guys have an opinion. Positively, all this is pretty much, what's happening right now in markets, what is getting the speculative crypto market going up. David Schwartz, though, reminds us where the value of XRP is going to be derived from. Okay, when this is all said and done, when this is all ancient history, when the market and certain cryptocurrencies react in a capacity because they are being directly affected by network utility, well, this is how XRP is going to get up higher in price.
But our first question is around, really what's going to be driving value to XRP, particularly kind of around the cross-border and sort of more like enterprise payments and financial use cases.
Yeah, so you guys can all see the question on the screen. I think the big thing that's gonna keep XRP like in its central role is its privilege placed on the XRP ledger. XRP is the only token that you can pay transaction fees in. It's the only token that every account can receive. The payment engine during pathfinding always looks for XRP liquidity first, and XRP is auto-bridged through the order book, so XRP liquidity is sort of preferentially taken over to other types of liquidity just from order crossing. So XRP is always going to have a special place as a sort of liquidity tool on the XRP ledger.
And guys, that is the secondary reason why XRP is going to thrive. So wanted to thank Anders there for pointing that out. Primarily, we've got speculation, and the speculation is already very, very high. So high that people are already predicting $15 per coin like Ali charts here. If the governing pattern behind XRP is the symmetrical triangle, this target could be $15 per coin. Well, guys, I've taken it upon myself to take a look at this trend again as we're starting to see the trajectory move upward. How high could we go once we break out of the Nike swoosh pattern? Well, in the past, what I've looked at is, certain trends, certain similarities in trend. One big one was back in 2017, when we did see XRP really dip down and then slowly move to the upside, forming that original Nike swoosh pattern. Just want to bring the bars over here and show you guys, after that big dip right in around here, first of all, look at how, here, let's get rid of some of that. Whoops, didn't want to get rid of that. Wanted to get rid of that, and just wanted to kind of line this up here. Okay, show you guys how very close we are here too, as XRP. So the bars pattern was from 2017. Okay, back rebounding. Look at this. Okay, look at how closely this lines up too with the top here, as we did see 2017 line up with this level here. So we're going to see these levels line up, of course, if it is following Fibonacci theory. Then we slowly make our way up. You can see XRP did bounce off resistance, bounce off resistance, bounce off resistance, as it was slowly making higher lows here, guys. Okay, formulating that same Nike swoosh pattern. So hopefully what we see at this point in time here, let me just zoom in here and take that off auto. Actually, no, I just got to put that, or take it off auto. I mean, when we do see blast off, I mean, I'm thinking conservatively, because it goes up much higher than this, but conservatively, what could we assume here? Are we assuming that we are going to get up to that level in there? Again, guys, you know where this would take us? Right here, actually, at the 3.618. So not quite the 4.236, but the next impulsive burst to the upside could take us there. Of course, $15 per coin is essentially what everybody's been eyeing. If we do, in fact, go higher than that, guys, we could get upwards to $18, $19, maybe even $20 per coin. But everything here is currently in flux. Of course, tariff talks. If we get more positive news on U.S. trade and tariffs, we could see this starting to move up even higher. Of course, this again is all speculative. I'm making my moves based on a spec market currently. If real world utility does finally come to fruition in 2025, my targets are going to change, and you can follow all that information, what I'm going to be doing this bull run at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. So guys, are we going to send it straight to the moon? Check out the Working Money Channel merch store if you guys are interested in getting the astronaut Send It tee. Comes in a t-shirt and long sleeve tee. Also, you can get a mug there. Got a mug available for you guys as well. Link is in the description of the video, but that is just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.